Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ramot. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make this beautiful and stylish dress step by step. It's elegant and it's beginner friendly, so anyone can make it. If you're just watching tutorial like this, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. So I first of all divided my 3 yards of fabric into two equally and I cut it out. So after I fold each one of it into two again, which I place it on top of each other. So that is what you are seeing here. So after that, I roll a straight line at the edges of the fabric, which is going to start at my starting line and also the shoulder line. So from there, I'm going to mark the length of the gown, which is 37 inches, including the sewing allowance. So after that, I'm going to go up on the shoulder line and mark in 21 inches plus 1 inch side allowance, which make it 22 inches that I mark. So I'm going to mark it all the way to the hem of the gown to give me a straight line. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to connect the point together using my straight ruler. So after I'm done with that, the next thing to do now is to mark in my back neckline. So for the back neckline, I'll be using 3 inches by 1 inch. 3 inches for the neck width, 1 inch for the neck depth. So after that, I'm going to connect it together and then start cutting it out. As you guys can see that when I'm cutting out the back neckline, I did not cut it with the front fabric. So after I'm not cutting it out, I'm going to separate the back from the front and put it aside. So for the front neckline, I'm going to come down from the shoulder line by 16 inches. So if you're small sizes, you can use 15 inches, and if you're large sizes, you can use 17 inches. So for the neck width, I'll be using 3 inches like what we use for the back. So on that 16 inches that I mark, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches before I connect it to the neck width. So after I'm not connecting it together, I'm going to cut it out. So guys, that is it for the front neckline, and this is also what the back also look like. So I'm going to fold it together and put it aside. So the next thing to do now is to cut out the collar, which is the design that is on the neckline. So I'll be doing it on the paper so that you guys can see what I'm doing clearly. So from the front neck depth, we use 16 inches from the shoulder down. So I'm going to replicate it on the paper. After that, I'm going to roll out this waistline there. So after I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to take out my back fabric and then fold it into two equally and measure what I have on the neckline, which is 4 inches. So I'm going to extend that 16 inches out by 4 inches, which is going to be for the back. So I'm also going to roll out the points there. So for the width, I'll be using 3 inches, including the sewing allowance. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to connect the point together using a straight line, and then I will start cutting it out after I'm done with it. And when we are transferring it to the fabric, we are going to cut it on fold. So I'm going to fold the fabric into 4 like you see me doing. After that, I'm going to place the pattern on top of it and then use it to cut out the fabric. So guys, after I'm not pinning the pattern to the fabric, I'm going to add half inches to the bottom and also at the edge before I start cutting it out. So after I'm done cutting it finish, I'm going to remove the pin at the pattern and then unfold the fabric before I place it on top of each other like you see me doing. So after I'm done placing it on top of each other, so I'll use half inches to join it together. So the next thing to do now is to join front and back shoulder together by placing it on top of each other. Make sure that the right side of the front and back is facing each other. So after that, I will take the dimension to use half inches to hold the shoulder together. And for the collar, after I'm done stitching it together, I'm going to open it like you see me doing and then unfold it back again. So I will take it back to the machine to hold it down together. And this is what it's looking like after I stitch it down and ironing it. So after I'm done joining the shoulder together, this is what it's looking like. So the next thing to do now is to fix the collar to it. So make sure that you notch your center back, and then that joining on the collar, you start by pinning it together from there. So let me explain another way to cut out the collar. So the first thing you need to do is to join the shoulder together. So after that, you are going to notch the center back and then fold it together and start measuring from the middle of back neckline to that 16 that we mark on the front, and then use it to cut out the collar. And you also need to add half inches to it, that's all. So after I'm not pinning it, I'll take it to the machine to stitch it together, and this is what it's looking like after I'm done stitching it. So the next thing to do now is to notch out this corner part here and then arrange the bottom part of it to the fabric before you take it back to the machine and continue sewing it.
So when you want to stitch down the bottom part, you are going to start from 1 inch from the notching point. So when you get to the notching point, you are going to raise your machine footers up and then arrange the bottom part very well before you continue stitching it. And it's going to come out very well, trust me. I did it once and it's perfect because I know that part is kind of complicated. If you don't do it right, you might spoil your clothes.
So guys, after I'm not finished sewing it, I also went ahead, I ironed it, and this is what it's looking like. I also went ahead, I trimmed out the excess allowance that I have there. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark the length of the elastic casing. So I'll be using 16.5 inches for the length. So I will start the measurement from the shoulder to where 16.5 inches stop. So I'm going to mark it in different places and then use my master ruler to connect the point together to form a straight line. So guys, after I'm done with the front, I'm also going to do the same thing to the back. So I'm also going to start taking the measurement from the shoulder down to 16.5 inches. So guys, after I'm not roll out the line, the next thing to do now is to sew the bias down. So I'm going to take it to the machine now to sew it down on both sides of the bias. So after I'm not finished sewing it down, this is what it's looking like. So the next thing to do now is to insert the elastic. So for the elastic length, I'll be using my actual waist measurement, or you can just take 4 inches out of your waist measurement before you divided it into two. So for mine, I'll be using my actual waist measurement, so I'm not taking anything out of my waist measurement. So my waist is 32 divided by 2, which is 16 inches. So I'll be using 16 inches for the front. I'll also be using 16 inches for the back. So after I'm done cutting it, I'll be using my loop toner to insert the elastic inside the casing. So after I'm done insert the elastic to the fabric, I'm going to use the pin to hold it together and then move to the back and also do the same thing to it. After I'm done with it, I'm going to take it to the machine to stop stitch on the elastic to the fabric before I join the side together. So after I'm done with that, the next thing to do now is to mark the length of the slip opening. So I'll be using 10 inches for it. So if you have bigger sizes, you can use 11 or 12 inches. After that, I'll be using 1 inches to join the both sides together. So I will start from that 10 inches that I've marked down to the hem of the gown. So I'll also do the same thing to the other side. So guys, after I'm not joined both the sides together, this is what it's looking like. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fold the hem of the sleeve opening and also the hem of the gown.
So guys, after I'm done with it, this is what it's looking like. So we have come to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you're enjoying it and find it helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and also turn on your notification bell so you don't miss my next sewing tutorial. Leave your comments below and subscribe for more sewing tutorial and fashion content. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.